Is it just me, or is anyone else just as irritated as I am hearing a couple or another adult asking you why you're still single? And they'll tell you the most stupidest lines that just will literally piss you off and trigger you. And although it may be good intention and they may have a are coming from a good place, you've probably heard those lines like, well, just stop looking and it'll come, right? Or you should just focus on yourself and just enjoy being single while you still can. Or maybe you'll understand once you're married, or it's all in God's perfect timing, or maybe why are you still single? Right? When you show up to like a family dinner and one uncle is just like, hey, why are you so single? When are you gonna introduce us to your girlfriend or your wife? And it's like, probably because she doesn't exist yet. So could you let me know when you see her to let me know that we're in a relationship? I'm just kidding. Hi, my name is Bren, and I talk about faith, love, life, and everything in between, and how to navigate our own challenges and trials, and ultimately become a better person and human being and inspire others by sharing my own story. And today I wanted to talk about the truth about being single in your 20s. So, I am in my 20s and I'm also single. I wasn't always single, but for 99% of my life, I have been single. So, I am very well acquainted with this topic. And today I just wanted to share with you my a little bit about my story, but also advice to those who may be feeling a little bit stuck, overwhelmed, or maybe impatient, or just kind of lost and hopeless when it comes to relationships and love. Because I know how hard it can be to be single and how lonely it can feel. And sometimes, especially if you're anything like a hopeless romantic like me, it can almost feel like you know you feel incomplete, or you're not doing something, or maybe you're doing something wrong. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to address the mindset of that you should take or have if you're single in your 20s. So first of all, having a growth mindset is vital, and it can be really crushing to look around and see all of your friends and best friends and siblings and everyone else just in a happy relationship besides you. And maybe you've never had a relationship, you've never had a girlfriend or boyfriend, or I know a lot of people who haven't had their first kiss, and that can be really frustrating, and it just feels like you're just so behind in life. And I get that, I totally get that. First of all, I wanted to share after this is having a growth mindset is super important, and just staying positive and don't let the negative thoughts consume you. And it's okay to feel the way that you do. Okay, it's completely normal and natural to feel lonely, to feel like life is hard, and that you're just sad. And I want you to embrace those times where you feel that way and let yourself feel. You can't hide and run away from your emotions, because the longer you do that and delay yourself from expressing yourself, it will be a lot harder on you, and it is just not a great place to be mentally, and it's not good for your health. And I've been in that situation where I've just kept my feelings and emotions pent up and almost acted like I'm fine, and in truth I wasn't fine. I was suffering and I was hurting underneath the surface, and nobody knew. I didn't want anybody to know I was in pain. But if you feel that way, I want you to know that you need to make time and let yourself experience those emotions. Happy, sad, bad. You need to let yourself feel it. It's a healthy way to release those bad emotions. I guess I used to feel like I wasn't enough, or I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't worthy of love, and I missed my chance at love. And I grew attached to these people that I was with, and that was my mistake. I attached my worth onto these women, and it wasn't right for me to do that, and unfair, because I gave them unnecessary pressure and I attached all my happiness to them, which is definitely a big mistake to do. And I want to transition to the next topic, which is you are enough. I want you to know that you are an amazing human being. And once you discover yourself and learn about yourself and take this time that you have in your single era to really come to know yourself and learn about what you like, what you don't like, or who you are, and really just come to love yourself and be okay and be content in your singleness, that is a huge milestone, because it can be really tough. And if you aren't okay being in your own skin and you're constantly looking to someone else for relief or for happiness, then I promise you, you'll never truly be happy. And I know it's kind of cheesy, but God has a perfect plan for you. And whether you believe in God or not, I'm sure there is a reason to your suffering and to your season of singleness. And I personally believe that He has a perfect plan for us. And He loves all of His children. And all of this challenges that we experience is all for our benefit. And especially our seasons of singleness, it is a great time to refine us and to increase our relationship with Him. And I know that God really wants just you. He wants to get closer to you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants you to trust Him, to call Him, to ask Him for help, to rely on Him, and turn to Him with all of your fears, doubts, questions, and frustrations. And I've done that a lot throughout the course of my season of singleness, because quite frankly, there's no way I'd be able to navigate life without Him. He's brought me so much peace, joy, and happiness just by simply talking to Him and just having a sincere and authentic conversation with Him, and just telling Him all of my true emotions and feelings, holding nothing back, and just being completely raw and open to Him. And I promise you, that is a life-changing experience as you continue to just be honest with God and imagine just talking to Him, sitting in the same room, just face to face. And I know that God wants to hear from you, and He doesn't want you to just suffer. He is using this to refine you. And so don't forget that there is a reason to this era of being single. Along the lines of this point, which is God wants you to love yourself first, because when you learn to love yourself, you essentially unlock the potential to love others around you more fully. And I used to have this mistake of thinking, and I was like, oh, I suck at loving myself, but I'm really good at loving others, so I'm just going to do that. Well, you can definitely do that, but there is definitely a limit to how much you can love people. And I found throughout the years of my healing journey, and once I began to love myself and really start that healing process and just find peace and contentment with myself, then I really began to just kind of pop off and love others a lot more powerfully. And I just felt like I was a greater light to others and could spread more love to others. And it all came naturally from my own love of myself and for my God, and that love for others just came naturally. And I know that is the secret to finding joy in our life in this season of singleness, is being able to just turn outwards and look for how we can help serve others. I want to make this clear. You are important. Don't just neglect yourself and just only focus on others. You need to first love yourself and then go ahead and love others. And I want you to know that He's not only refining you, but He's also refining the woman that He has in store for you. He's refining your spouse as we speak. Don't worry, her prayers are working. She's praying that we stay single until we meet her, but that prayer is a little too strong. I promise you that if you never settle, are truly looking for a good woman, I'm sure she's close to God. And it's true. Like, if you look at amazing women, they're all women of faith and they have a good relationship with God or believe in Him. And also, there's kind of this trend in our generation of seeing couples getting married young in like their early 20s, like literally right out of high school. Or, you know, you see couples getting married at 19, 20, 21, 22. And it's like, what? Are you serious? And then it feels even worse when you've been out of school for a while and maybe you're approaching your early 30s and these high schoolers are getting married, and that is literally the one thing to piss you off. I don't know. I used to feel that way. It just really makes you feel behind in life, but not everyone has to get married early. And in fact, I think it's wise that you don't. For those who don't get married young, I don't think you're forgotten or you've missed out on life. I believe He is refining you and preparing you for a great love. Other women who have also been waiting for a long time are a lot more wiser. They are more mature, and the same thing goes for men. We aren't as stupid, hopefully. So here's an important topic. Many people, especially in their 20s, are scared that they will never find love or that they've missed out on it, which is not true, because if you are love, you will find love. What I mean by that is when you are actively trying to be a better person and essentially more Christ-like and radiating His love to others, then there is no way that you will never find love, because a love like that is so contagious, and any good woman will recognize that in you. Along the lines of that, attract the person that you want to become. It goes both ways. You can't only expect to find the perfect wife. You also have the responsibility to become the perfect man. And what I mean by that, if you find the perfect woman, what makes you think that she will want to pick you? If you are not trying to be a better or trying to improve yourself, then she's gonna find the man that she deserves. It's a two-way road. You need to work on becoming a better man, and then you also have to look for a woman who is aligned with your goals. And so I want to make this point clear. It is so imperative that you focus on God. Why? Because if you are chasing after God, then if you look around and you see another woman who is chasing just as hard after God as you are, then you will know when you have found a woman that you should pursue. God will take an imperfect and broken man like me, and maybe you, and He will help reshape you and refine you into something so much more than you could ever dream of. And I want you to know that it's in God's eyes. I'm sure He really wants you to find your wife, but He has a greater plan for you. He doesn't just simply want you to find your wife. He wants you to become a man for your wife. He wants you to become His disciple. He is creating a warrior, and He needs a lot of them. He needs you to be strong in this generation, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the grip of the devil is so strong, and he is taking the lives of many of God's children. In order to stand, the tests of time, you need to have a strong relationship with God and with your wife. And the only way that we can get through this is by having a strong triangle, I like to call it. You have to have a good relationship with God, and your wife has to have a good relationship with God, and you have to have a good relationship with your wife. And so when you have a little triangle, you are literally at the best place in your marriage, because if you include God in your life when you have a spouse, then you'll be truly powerful. You can do all things through him if you always remember to keep God at the center of your life and your relationship. Lastly, I just wanted to share something very personal to me. After everything that's said and done, I really so crave love. It's not that I've given up, but it's rather I've let go of my attachment to others and to love, and I'm just trusting in him. And I'm doing it the right way now, because before I just said I trusted in him and I did nothing in my life. But you also have to put yourself in places where you can find love. And so I'm doing that now. And I'm trying to put myself out there to serve others, to love one another, to spend more time in my scriptures and spend more time talking and praying with him, to spend more time at church, and to fulfill my callings and responsibilities that I have, to do missionary work, and to help others around me come to know who our God is. And in his perfect timing, then will we eventually find the love that we've always deserved. But until then, I know it's not easy, and there's literally nothing that I could say to ease your heart for your longing for love. But I can help redirect your attention to something that is much more worthwhile and meaningful, which is our amazing God and his amazing work. If you enjoyed this video, I would invite you to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe comment what you'd like me to talk about next. Once again, my name is Bren, and I talk about navigating love, faith, life, and everything in between. If you have any questions, let's talk about it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.